So I haven't had one of these rants in quite some time, and quite frankly, um, I think it's about time. All right, it really is about time that I speak on this because I'm continuously seeing this um, from quite a few people. All right, anytime I see things on a consistent basis, myself, I have to speak on it. I have to speak on. I must speak on it because one of the things that really irritates me personally, and that the idea that a guy doesn't want to win because he's not doing things or things aren't happening the way fans think they should. So again, if you guys new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. This is the place where we like to just answer your questions. So you NFL fan, um, you want to get our takes on players and teams around the league and what we feel as though um you know what's going on, our takes on even college guys. I threw out a video with Carson Beck. You guys have not checked that out. As well as a few wrestling takes on the Mad Mike Network with OG Truth Hurts. All right, so like I said, I think this thing, man, it goes deep. It goes deep, and I want to address this particular matter because, quite frankly, man, I just think it's pure ignorance. All right, this. So I saw a comment. All right, that really kind of irritated me. What I'm talking about irritated me to the absolute core. One of the things I really hate is to say stuff like this. It's good, Sherman. Everybody leave your comments right there so I can give y'all a shout out, man. But obviously this is a little early than y'all expecting, well, used to seeing me. And it's largely due to the fact of a comment. All right. Like I said, I like to use a lot of comments that you guys leave, not only in the chat, but under the videos. So it's like this one of the channels. Like if you say something, chances are, your comment could be the source of a conversation. And that's like I said, it this irked me a certain way because I'm seeing it a lot. I'm seeing it all over the damn place. I really am. All right, so Zachary Corriga. I hope Corriga. How they ever the hell you say that shit. I'm not very good at pronouncing words and shit. Um, I do agree. If he beats Alabama, let's get him. It's hard to compete in the SEC. Our Falcons have issues all around. Some coaches and some players to start. Mike Smith is not a quarterback molder. Carson Beck come to Atlanta, and I feel this is an issue for Ritter. He has no experience, a quarterback coach or a coordinator to teach him how to be an NFL quarterback. David Gone is no coach. I can go on and on. As long as Arthur Blank is has this franchise, we would never win a Super Bowl. I really do not think he wants to win, and he needs to clean house. See, it's so many damn. It's just so many, just so many things in this statement that really just pisses me off. Because this is a question I have for you. All right, why don't you think Arthur Blank wants to win? That's like, why would you say that? This is the thing. Like, what's the point of buying, spending $800 million on a fucking team, on a stadium, and saying, all right, he doesn't want to win?
Like, why would you say that? Like, what's the point? Why the fuck would a guy spend $800 million on a fucking stadium if he doesn't want to win? Because it isn't happening at the rate that you think it should be happening. The Falcons aren't spending money the way that you think they should be spending money. Like, what's the reason behind that? At people that like, why would you say that Arthur doesn't want to win? Because I just don't get it. Why? Like, what's the point? Okay, like, what's the point of saying this? I have no idea what the hell this even means. That's the question that I have. All right, Derek Hughes, Thomas, T Bone was good. Jason L, Sonia, how you doing, Sonia? Tales by G. Like, my thing is like, why are we saying this? Because things aren't happening the way, and this is why I always ask you guys to pay attention to the NFL. This is another game. Another game where quarterback did he play like absolute shit. Do I have to go over these numbers again? Let me go over these numbers. All right. I'm just gonna go back to last night's game. Because obviously Falcons fans just do not get it. Okay. So they're paying this guy over $200 million and Jalen Hurts. Okay. It's wild to me that we come away with these conclusions because the Falcons don't have a quarterback that everybody wants, that we consistently give these guys a pass. We give these quarterbacks passes because they're winning. But when you look at the numbers, look at these numbers. Let me read these numbers out to you. This is Jalen Hurts. This guy got over $200 million contract. Okay. And Norman, don't start that bullshit because you know that's not fucking true. I look. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna debunk that bullshit you just said. He had one bad game. Stop it. All right, stop the bullshit. This dude was 14 and 22, 150 yards passing with AJ. All right, and DeAndre. I can keep going on and on. He got all his players, all his superstar players, and he still put up 150 yards passing against against the Kansas City Chiefs, who are not known for having a shutdown corner. This is what I'm talking about. An interception, sacked 5 times, and he had 29 yards rushing. But we're trying to tell me that he had one bad game. All right. So we're gonna go down the line and prove to you guys, all right, that a lot of these things that we think is wrong with our team is just not the truth. Okay, one bad game, one bad game. Now the Eagles, these guys, and Julio, yep, and Julio, got to throw that in there too. Now you look at this again. This is last week's game. Now these are the almost identical numbers that Desmond Ritter and even, to a lesser extent, the previous game where um, Taylor Heineke had more yards than this. 17 to 23, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, sacked 3 times. Jalen Hurts had 36 yards passing. All right, 36-yard pass. So I'm just gonna go down the line. Just tell me when you guys get blown away by Jalen Hurts numbers. Okay. They scored 38 points against I think he had a pretty good game against the Washington. Yeah, he had 4 touchdowns, 319 yards. Again, sacked two times in that game against those. So he had a pretty good game against the Washington Commanders. Um, I don't want to hear nothing about no highest rated quarterback. I don't give shits about no ratings. Okay, y'all should know that by now. I don't give a damn about no cornerback ratings and PFF ratings. I think that's a load of crap. All right. Jalen Hurts, another game, 23 attempts, 23 completions, 31 attempts, 279, two touchdown interceptions. So, like I said, I'm gonna just go up and down, and that's one game that I'm blown away with Jalen Hurts, and this is the game against the Jets, 280 yards, 28-40. He was 28 of 45, 280 yards, one touchdown, three interceptions. He's had one game that I see where he's passed for over 300 yards. Just so far. I'm into week. All right, again, there's all right, two games, 25 or 38, 300 yards, one touchdowns, and one interceptions. A lot of these numbers are looking almost Desmond Ritterish. Okay, just being real about this. It's looking real Desmond Ritterish for a guy that's getting paid $200 million to do this. All right, and then another game. So that's three games this year where he's passed for 300 yards, 25 of 37, 319, two interceptions, two touchdowns. All right, and that's week 4 against the. And then you have the next game with him. They beat the Buccaneers 25-11, and he had a pretty good game there. Again, 23 of 37, 277 yards, one touchdown, two interceptions. See what I'm saying? It's like these are the things that I'm talking about when you look at a lot of these quarterbacks that's getting paid these big money, these big money, and then we have unrealistic expectations of what these teams should be. All right, in week 2 against Minnesota, he had 18 of 23, 193 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. So this guy getting paid all this money to put up pedestrian numbers, and we're supposed to give up all our first round draft picks for a guy like this. We're supposed to give up all our first round draft picks for a guy they can put up, for a guy that may not even put up 200-300 yards in the season. We can get these exact same numbers from Desmond Ridder, but y'all want us to give up first round picks, trade up to get guys like Drake May, who I have no confidence in. I have no confidence in Caleb Williams. I have no confidence in a lot of quarterbacks that's currently in it. Bo Nix is another quarterback that's coming out. It's a lot of quarterback that's just not very good. So no. I don't. See, this is what people try to shut you up. Oh, you made your point about Jalen. See, this is a bigger picture. This is why I did this particular show. It's because people have priorities all the way fucked up. All the way fucked up. You got it all the way fucked up. All right. This is what we gotta look at. We gotta look at it in its entirety. This guy is putting up pedestrian numbers in Philadelphia. But Philadelphia right now, I believe they 8-2, 9-2. These guys are winning because they have a complete team. They have a defensive line that's killing it right now. They have a nice secondary. They have a good offensive line. They run the ball well. They have a good running game there, and then they have a good coaching staff and a receiving core. So this is a complete team. But y'all trying to convince me that if the Falcons were to draft a quarterback, then everything would be answered. We're literally seeing right now with the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, they done paid Josh Allen a good 230 million, something like that. So he's getting close to $50 million a year to lead the league in interceptions and turnovers, excuse me. So these are the things that I'm saying to you guys. It's like, why should we spend our draft picks on a quarterback when we're struggling in every other department? And the teams that are winning right now, these guys have defensive line, offensive lines, and they could consistently get after the quarterback and protect the quarterback, and they can run the ball well, and they don't have to. They didn't spend, a lot of money. Not a lot of money, but they didn't spend a lot of draft picks on developing a lot of these quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts is a second round pick. Desmond Ridder is a third round pick. He putting up damn near this. Look, he damn near putting up the same numbers that Jalen Hurts is. He can look. Jalen Hurts is throwing. I think Jalen Hurts at one point he was second in the league in turnovers. Yeah, I think he had one less turnover than Desmond Ridder at one point this season. And I think that was like a couple of games ago. That was 2 games ago. He was right behind Desmond Ridder in turnovers. Now Josh Allen is leading the league in turnovers, but we're supposed to give up everything to get a quarterback, and the quarterback is going to answer all our issues. And then we got several people. We got several people at the moment. The same guy, Lamar Jackson. Oh, Mike, Lamar Jackson tearing up. They 8-2. Yeah, the team is 8-2. Yeah, we talk about the team in itself. It's funny that we give all Desmond Ridder and Arthur Smith the blame when the team in its entirety is having issues and they're growing. But when we look at the Philadelphia Eagles, y'all give all the credit to one particular quarterback, and then y'all forget that the Eagles have a dominant defensive line. They have a pretty good secondary. They have a pretty good offensive line. They have a pretty good offensive run game. But you neglect the fact to say that the Falcons, a lot of their issues have been in the secondary. And this is one of the reasons why I've said before, it's like, well, why should I continuously, why would I pay AJ Terrell $20 million? When we still have issues in the trenches. Now, I like AJ, but I'm not paying him anything over $15 million a year. I'm just not doing it. If he wants to stay in Atlanta, then AJ needs to, get on board with what this Falcons team is going to be. Because I'm not paying. I would much rather draft another corner and get a couple of draft picks for him. Train a guy like Clark Phillips. Have him take over at some point at that corner. Sign Okuda to a smaller deal. Have a younger corner. And like I said, I love AJ, but a lot of this money is like it's not conducive to winning. And people, like I said, so many people are saying this crazy stuff about, Arthur Blank not wanting to win. It's like, I don't even understand why that even is a conversation. Like, why would you say that this guy don't want to win? Because we didn't draft Justin Fields? Because we didn't draft a quarterback? Every quarterback that we passed on, all of the guys suck right now. Okay, so why are they finding a way to win despite bad quarterback play? Okay, I don't know what the fuck that even means. I'm assuming that you mean why they finding a way to win if they had bad quarterback play. It's because they have a team. Okay, so all right, maybe I missed something, Norman, but what do you mean why they finding a way to win? It's because they have a team. That's exactly what I'm saying. Well, we've always stated that you look at even the Chiefs right now, they're averaging 5.8 points in the second half of games this year. Okay? That's the lowest in the NFL. In the second half of games, the Chiefs they've gotten blown out. They've scored 5.8 points per game in the second half of games, and that's the lowest in the NFL. But we're so focused on the Falcons need to, draft this quarterback. It's just a lot of bad offense being played in the NFL. So essentially, what the Falcons have to do is just be patient with the process. Everybody want to just get rid of a quarterback ain't showing you something in 6 games. Everybody want to blow everything up and get rid of everybody. But we see time and time again where instances where these championship teams have been together longer than 3 years, but you guys are so focused on what's going on with them right now that you forget that Patrick Mahomes sat on the bench, that they had Travis Kelce long before they even had, long before Patrick Mahomes was really even a thing. We totally forgot about that. So there was aspects of the game that a lot of people are just ignoring because you're caught up in the moment. You just see the finished product of what Philadelphia, but you don't realize Philadelphia has been and drafting in the trenches and building in the trenches for the last 10 years. It began with them drafting a guy like Fletcher Cox. Fletcher Cox been in the league for a while. A lot of the players that we, especially the teams, a lot of these guys have been in the league for quite some time. But for whatever reason, because it's not happening right now for the Atlanta Falcons, we assume that Arthur Blank and Arthur Smith they don't want to win because it's not happening at the pace because you're so focused on what the Chiefs and the Eagles and the Cowboys and all these other teams are doing. You do realize that the Buffalo Bills, even with their electric that defensive line, that offensive line, they quarterback, they're literally a couple like they what I think they 6-5 right now. They're not much better than what the Falcons are doing right now. But we're ready to blow up our team because others are doing it better. Yeah. Yeah, they 6-5. They're literally 6-5. They got one less loss than the Atlanta Falcons, but there's only one team that's talking about blowing up a team. There's only one organization fans talking about blowing up things because we're 4-6. Yeah. We want to blow up everything, get rid of everything because guess what? It's not happening the way that we want it. So we just need to fire all the coaches. We need to trade all the players away. We need to trade all the players away, get some draft picks so we can draft a guy like Drake May in the draft. It's like, please. I'm not giving up my whole draft. I'm not giving up. I'm not blowing up my team so I can draft fucking Drake May or some Caleb's midget Williams. These guys can't even win college games, but I'm supposed to give up my whole franchise for these guys. Get the fuck out of here. Like, what are we talking about, people? I'm supposed to get rid of everything and blow up every damn thing because of one player. When I look at other organizations, and look, this is right. This is why I always say it's not as bad as we think it make it to be. The Chiefs haven't scored a point in the second half for 3 straight games. And here he go, Mr. Toxic Black with his bullshit. Look, you ain't even toxic. You just full of shit at this point. All right, this is a Mr. Full of shit Black. Okay, because you're full of shit. A loss is a loss. You can sit up here and try to, oh, it's a strength of schedule. Look, that's a loser's mentality. It's because it's you have the you have a weak schedule. You should be winning. No, you're not playing like ass. The Falcons are not playing like ass. I don't know why y'all get. Let me just show y'all something. Let me show y'all something. Let me go over something. The Falcons. All right, since everybody think the Falcons are just playing like ass. Okay, this is week 10. The Falcons 23-25. 31-28. 28-23. 16-13. 24-16. 21-19. 23-7. 26. 25-24. And 24-10. Anybody know what those numbers mean? Anybody know what those numbers are? Those numbers I just read off. Everybody say the Falcons are playing like ass, but the numbers don't say that. The Falcons were in every one of those games except for two. It was 3 games this year that the Falcons were. They've been in what 7 games, 8 games of one score or less. There's only 2 games this year where the Falcons really did not have a chance. They kind of, outside of one score games. So most of those games they was in one score. They score one time instead of kicking field goals. They easily blow those teams out. Yeah, most of those games they was in one score. They within one score. So the Falcons are not far off. You want to blow up a team that's not getting blown out? Like again, it's not like the Falcons are getting blown out by 3-4 touchdowns. They losing 50-10 or something like that. Then that's not happening. Y'all want to blow up a team that's not getting blown out. So this team is making strides. The problem is it's not happening at the rate and the speed that you guys want. Y'all really want to blow up a team that's not getting blown out. It's not like we giving up 70 fucking points in the game. We're not giving up 70 points in the game. But Arthur Blank needs to blow everything up. He doesn't want to win a Super Bowl because he's not panicking and going and spend $50 million on a quarterback that's not going to help. We've been down that road. We've been down that road with Mike Vick, where we offered him $100 million. He was the first quarterback to spend to get $100 million chip. But we talk about this man don't care. Arthur Blank don't care, but he gave a quarterback in Mike Vick the first $100 million contract. And then he financially, I can honestly say he gave Matt Ryan a good $200 million. They gave this man $200 million, but we up here trying to say that Arthur Blank doesn't want to win. He sees a good quarterback. He sees somebody that's worth it. He's going to invest in it. He's always shown you that. The problem is you guys have an idea of the players that you want, and when he doesn't want those same players, that's when y'all say, "See, he don't want to win. He didn't draft Jalen Carter." Jalen Carter always in some bullshit. As much as people don't want to admit, that dude is always in some bullshit. And he's playing with 2 good defensive tackles right next to him right now. And that's Fletcher Cox and Jordan Davis. But we sitting up here saying that he doesn't want to win. Again, Norman. Yeah, you're saying this, but again, why the fuck would I want to blow a team up that's not getting blown out? It makes no fucking sense. When these guys get things straight, they're going to be a very good team. When you learn how to win, when these guys finally get it, because I don't know how many times we're going to continuously say this, but these guys have only been together less than a year. And you guys want to blow up the entire team because this particular offense and this particular team has only been together less than a year. You don't see how psychotic and idiotic that is? These guys have not been together a full year, and you guys want Arthur Blank to blow the team up. Arthur Smith has had a different quarterback every year, but we want to blow the team up and start on a fourth quarterback. You don't see how idiotic and ignorant that is? Every year, y'all want to fire a coach, you want to fire a head coach, you want to fire a defensive coordinator, you want to fire this guy and bring in a new quarterback. If we bring in another damn quarterback, guess what? It's going to be a fourth quarterback, a fifth starting quarterback under this man. Sometimes you just got to wait for the process to play itself out. It's going to take it's going to take a lot longer than 5 months for this team to get it together. Y'all want shit that happened in 5 months. That's not reality. Tom Brady didn't become a legend in 1 year, okay? Peyton Manning didn't become a legend in 1 year. I don't know why people believe this goofy shit that quarterbacks just become great over a year. It didn't happen for Peyton. It didn't happen for Patrick Mahomes. It never happened to any fucking quarterback in the history of this game. But somehow you motherfuckers think it's going to happen for the Atlanta Falcons. Vic didn't play for at least 8 weeks of the freaking season, but we expect Desmond Ritter and all these other quarterbacks and all these other young quarterbacks around the league, and it's just not Atlanta Falcons issue. This is around the league. Y'all expect these quarterbacks to get it in less than a damn year. Now, Zach Wilson, he's a whole nother head case. I just don't think he's very good. But there's so many quarterbacks in the NFL right now. These guys just they don't get it. It's going to take time. It's like in this goofy shit, Dom, and I'm like, we need to find. We have. The problem is y'all focus on the negative things. The Falcons are a better defense. We have a better defense. We have a better developmental system. We literally have a guy, Nathan Landon, who came out of nothing. The dude was a backup. He was a practice squad guy. And nobody's talking about this, how this team and Arthur Smith are developing these guys. Y'all not even focusing on it. He's so fucking ass hurt because of a fucking quarterback. You so ass hurt because Bijan Robinson he's not getting enough touches. Drake London isn't getting enough touches. Kyle Pitts are not getting. You so ass hurt and ass fuck because of your quarterback. We're not winning at the rate that you think we should win. There's a lot of good things that are happening. You got a left guard and Bergeron who's playing amazing right now. He's a young stud at left guard, and no, we don't have to worry about a left guard getting destroyed anymore. Why? Because Bergeron has been doing a good job. We're not focusing on that shit. We're not focusing on the Falcons got more sacks than they had all last year. We're not focused on the fact that we got two linebackers and Bergeron and Caden Ellis. These guys are playing out of their freaking mind right now. You're not paying attention to a guy like D. Alford is playing out of his damn mind when he's healthy. You're not focusing on us trading for a guy like Jeff Okudah, and he's playing out of his damn mind. We complaining about the same two things we always have. Quarterback can get, Arthur Smith, he ain't making no improvements. Of course he is. But sometimes things take longer than 6 weeks to get it straight. Kenny Pickett about to get ran. Look, them guys up there in Pittsburgh want to run him out of the city. Kenny Pickett, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Bryce Young, Baker Mayfield, Derek Carr. Bro, it's going to take longer than it hasn't even been 6-7 months and y'all ready to blow the team up. Bergeron is playing, bro. What are we talking about? Y'all ready to blow up a damn team because we're not winning. Chances are we're not going to win a Super Bowl. That's just realistic. If things go well, yeah, things could have been. But it didn't go that way. But there's no cause to blow every damn thing up and just try to pretend like we're a quarterback or a head coach away. It's not fucking true. Bill Belichick got fired his first head coaching job. So it's a process all the way around. No matter how much you see on ESPN, they try to paint this beautiful picture of Aaron Rodgers is just the greatest quarterback of all time and he never struggled. Bullshit. Aaron Rodgers sat on the bench for 3 fucking years. But nope, the Falcons, they supposed to get this shit right in 6 months. The Falcons are supposed to get this right in 6 months or less. We're supposed to be a championship team in 6 months or less because we spent 160, 100, I think it was like 130, $150 million in the offseason. But we still saying stuff like Arthur Blank don't want to win. Why the fuck would he spend $800 million and then in the offseason spend another $150 million and then say some dumb shit like he doesn't, I don't think you want to win. Motherfucker, I'm not paying over $500 million if I don't want to win. That's crazy. Just admit that you're impatient. Just admit you just don't like the Falcons' moves and deal with it. If you're a fan of the game, you will understand that it's a process. No team has won some shit in football, blown up a team, and then the following year they're in the world fucking championship. It didn't even happen to Cincinnati. Cincinnati, that offense was a process to even build that team. There's no such thing as blow some shit up and then the next year you win in the championship. There's never been. And I'm just gonna ignore this dumbass in this chat. I'm just not doing dumbass shit today. Right? If you can't understand that this is a process, and then okay, we made terrible moves. Like, why would you say that dumbass shit? Again, that's fucking stupid. The Falcons have a top 10 defense, but we up here saying that they made dumb moves. Like, what the fuck you talking about? Like, no, man, bro. Like, what? The motherfucker be talking. Look, bro, if you don't get that damn porcupine out of your ass, because you obviously got one, just talking crazy. Don't make no damn sense. No, you don't know your ABCs saying goofy crap like this. All they look, Derek, bro. All they want to do every year is if we don't make the playoffs, if we don't make it to the Super Bowl, we want to blow up everything. All I'm saying, and all most of logical fans were saying, and not even just most fans, it's a process. Nothing's going to, you can't blow up a team in 1 year and in the next year think they're going to be in the playoffs. It doesn't happen. Name a team that you seen blew up the damn team and then the following year they was in the damn Super Bowl. Somehow we supposed to put a goddamn a Harry Potter magic spell on the Falcons to make them drink some crazy potion and they become Super Bowl champions. We don't even see it happen in basketball, but somehow it's supposed to happen to us. LeBron James, when he went to Miami, that team had already been together for years. They just added to it. You see what I'm saying? It does not happen in sports where you just build a team, you tear a team down, and and spend $100 million and they win. No, that Miami team already had core guys there. They already had D Wade. They already had a superstar. And what they did, they added to it. They didn't blow the damn team up. They added to it. But somehow every Falcon fan, because we're not winning right now, we just want to blow up the Atlanta Falcons because it didn't work this year. It doesn't happen. There's no such thing as blowing up a team in the following year they won the championship. Yeah, Toxic Black, you got a crack. You crackhead, bro. I'm sorry. You're a crackhead. Yeah, you're probably not a crackhead. You probably just don't read. This man said Bud Dupree ain't got no move that Bud Rush. No, that's actually not true. Y'all, look, I'm gonna give y'all a couple of channels. Go look at Jackson Kruger Sports. He does film breakdowns. Okay. Go look at a guy in Vosh Lombardi. Um Another one. What's the guy? Good God. His name escapes me right now. But he does a lot of guys do a lot of film. Just do film breakdowns. Okay. Look, if you got $10 a month, all right, you can pay $50 for the whole thing for the whole year, and you can go get all 22. Go look at all 22 and go look at the film. Stop saying shit that ain't true. I can tell half of you don't read a damn a box score because you're saying asinine crap. It's like, look, you can't read. Yeah, obviously, he can't read, bro. The last 6 weeks been ranked 26. Okay, that's what you believe. Obviously, your ass don't damn. No, you don't. If you think Bud Dupree moves a week, then you obviously don't know, and you have not been watching Bud Dupree over the last few years. He's been trained by Chuck Smith, and Chuck Smith he does not train weak guys. Look, D-Led don't know what the hell he talking about. All right, we actually did a video a few weeks ago. I don't want to hear about no last 6 weeks, okay? Because that's not true at all. Like what do y'all get these? Y'all need to y'all need to really stop listening to these. Y'all really got to stop listening to these damn journalists that don't give you specifics. That's not even true when it comes down to the Falcon defense. Talking about the last 6 weeks. That's not true at all. Like y'all say some people just say some of the goofiest stuff. ranked 26 in the last 6 weeks. So tell me, just last week, how are they ranked top 15 in every damn thing? If they ranked 26 in the last six, like what are we talking about? Who telling these, like this is what I mean. Who telling y'all this stuff? Like where are y'all getting these things? Where are you getting this from? Some of this stuff, like I said, a lot of this stuff, if you just do it, if you just do simple math, okay. Me and K Styles literally did a breakdown on this Falcons defense last week. Okay. Just last week we just did the breakdown on this Falcon defense, and you're trying to tell me that they've been ranked 26 in the last 6 weeks. Hmm. That's real interesting. Like I said, I'm just trying to figure it out. Have the Falcons been playing up the par? Absolutely not. Have they been making plays? Yeah, they have. Not as many as that we want, but like I said, look, if you getting your numbers from D Led, that's probably why you saying that. Don't get numbers from D Led, okay? I'm look, you might want to stop listening to him because he making you look real bad right now. Just saying. We haven't played what we're capable of, especially with Grady Jarrett been out. Ever since we lost Grady Jarrett, the defense has taken a step back. But to say that the last 6 weeks the Falcons are ranked 26 is just stupid. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Corey, that's exactly what I mean. Like y'all got to stop. Y'all got to stop. Y'all. That's not even logical. If the team will rank 26 in the last 6 weeks, how are they ranked seventh in yards right now? You see what I'm saying? Like this is exactly what we're talking about. Y'all got to stop. This is why you have to listen. You have to look at this information for yourself because you will be led astray and think the Falcons are just on the worst. They just the worst team and the worst defense and the worst offense. It's just not true at all. Yeah. Quavo said. Quavo said the Falcons defense is the worst defense in NFL history. Or they ranked in seventh in yards. So how the hell they ranked the worst deep 26 in the league in the last 6 games? Don't make no it don't even make sense, bro. What are we talking about? Look, I don't do all that last 6 weeks shit. All right. If you're not talking about the defense in its entirety, I don't really care nothing about that. We talk about in its entirety. I don't want to focus on how bad a team is doing or how good, because we literally seeing the Kansas City Chiefs. They're not playing up to par, but are they still the Kansas City Chiefs? Of course they are. So they can turn it on at any given moment. That's why I don't do the last 6 games they have been playing. Well, teams go through shit. Injuries happen. So you have to adjust the game plans accordingly. Sometimes you run into teams that hold the ball. They run the ball well. And, you know, according to how the matchups are, like, you're gonna see a lot more passing yards, especially if you're not converting in on third downs. Getting um you're not getting red zone touchdown like the Falcons have done. Of course, you're gonna see a lot more teams getting opportunities. So it's not necessarily an indictment on the defense itself. This is why both teams, all three aspects of the phases of the game, it works well together. Because if you know anything about this Atlanta Falcons special teams, the last few times, like Bradley Payne has not been very good and consistent in kicking, and the Falcons have given up quite a few big return yards in key situations. The Falcons have given up big, and they've given up a lot of scores. So a lot of times, like when you look at the yards and then you look at certain things, is not really indicative of how bad the defense is playing. It's the overall, because sometimes, like, you're getting 3 and outs, and then the defense been, on the field a long time, or especially in the first half of the games, the Falcons, they defense kind of, take time to get going. And then the second half, they kind of bring things. But the last few weeks with Richie Grant, they giving up a few big plays and that. So again, this is not indicative of how the players in itself are playing or how the defense is playing. It's a multitude of things. I don't know exactly what's going on with the Kansas City Chiefs as far as their scoring, but I can almost promise you that injuries have played a factor in it. Yeah, you gotta go to some reputable sources. Like, you can't keep, like, a lot of these journalists, and this is why you got to do a thorough search of where your team are, and where teams are, and where your team is at the current, and the Falcons are in a pretty good position. Thing is when your offense is only getting 3 points and they're not scoring touchdowns, it put the other teams in a position where they can continue to run the ball. The Falcons did not have last week. They didn't have Grady Jarrett, obviously, but they didn't have Onyemata. So you don't think the defense is going to be able to, the defense is going to struggle? Of course they're going to struggle. So I don't look at one particular aspect and phase and just say, all right, this is where the Atlanta Falcons are. We're using a number of sites, but another site that we actually use. I mean, you can just go to team rankings. Like, let's do. You can do a couple of sources, but the thing that what I won't use is, I definitely won't use PFF. If you use PFF, then you deserve to be deceived, because that shit, they don't even have a clue of why their own process. They haven't even perfected their own process. No, the defense has been good again, but when you're not, you got to give your defense. The defense been on the damn field for about 30 freaking minutes. And when you're missing Grady Jarrett, don't give me this shit about the defense. The defense still played well. This defense is much better than what y'all let. It's like, oh, they haven't been. No, the defense has actually played well lately. They've been very good lately. The problem is they give up big plays at the wrong moments. Richie Grant. So this defense is actually played. What they haven't done is tackled well. They've played well in the last 6 weeks. I totally disagree with the fact that the Falcons have defense hasn't played well. They played well. But when you lose a Grady Jarrett, there's going to be a drop off. Obviously, there's going to be a drop off because he's Grady freaking Jarrett. But to say that the Falcons defense hasn't played well, that's not true at all. Like I said, we just don't have the pass rush that we once had with a Grady Jarrett. We can't finish games. And this is why I always say you got to have that finisher. Grady Jarrett was our finisher. When you use your finisher, it's going to be an adjustment period. The Falcons just have to do things. And not only that, they lost Grady Jarrett and David Onyemata. They didn't have them last week. So, of course, they're going to look different. But to say that this defense didn't play well, just not true. But a lot of people say that Arthur Blank doesn't want to win. It's the most idiotic and disgusting thing anybody can say. Why? Because I dare you give up 300. Look, give up $3,000. This motherfucker gave up over $1 billion to help build a stadium so Falcons fans and Falcons players can have a great. And not only that, he made the necessary upgrades at Flowery Branch. Gave them new facility upgrades. They got a whole new studio. They actually have the what's the name of that studio where they film the podcast and all that. But he's put money into this organization. So for anybody to say that Arthur, this man has put well over $1 billion into this franchise. Yeah, that's what it is, Ticketmaster. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving up $1 billion if I don't want to win. That's just crazy. You know, like I said, the Falcons are in a good place, man. We just at some point, y'all just got to stop with this bull thinking everything is gonna happen overnight. The Braves didn't get to that point where they won a championship overnight. It was a 10-year process. That's what people don't get. It was a damn decade of being mediocre, around 500, and then eventually the Braves won. But Freddie Freeman had been with this team for nearly 10 years before he started to win. That's the crazy part that people love to neglect the fact that they had to go through a rough period to win. Kansas City Chiefs had to go through multiple, I'm talking about 5-6 years straight of just getting to the AFC Championship and losing, just getting to the playoffs and losing before they even got to the Super Bowl and actually won it. It was a process. Even with the Philadelphia Eagles, bro, they lost to the damn, they lost so many times in the NFC championships and building the foundation, losing to the Dallas Cowboys and losing to the Washington Redskins at the time, and then losing to Frisco. Like, they lost a lot. And for whatever reason, Falcons fans and these stupid ass journalists think it's just gonna happen overnight if we make a trade for Lamar Jackson. It's not gonna happen that way. If you look at what happens, if you just look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, they have a whole I'm talking about the guy who won them the championship. Guess what he was? The head coach that won them the championship. Brian, not Brian Billick. But Bruce Arians, they had Bruce Arians. They had a whole list. They had Bruce Arians. They had a I forget it's Todd something. But those guys were over there with Pittsburgh. They had an all-star defensive staff over there. But these guys had a laundry list of players, of coaches, excuse me, that these guys, help build. But for whatever reason, Falcons fans think it's going to happen overnight. No, you got to continuously build upon what you have. Nothing is going to happen overnight. And that's what today's live show. Just because it isn't happening at the pace that we all feel it should, doesn't mean this guy don't want. Todd Haley, that's what it is. I don't know why I was thinking Todd Monken. Good God Almighty, but Todd Monken actually with former Bulldogs, but Todd Haley, like they had all those guys over there. They had an all-star coaching staff over there, and this is what helps build and develop these players. And this is what the Atlanta Falcons are trying to do. They're trying to keep a solid core of coaches around here that's they believe in the system. They believe in developing players the right way. And until we get to that point, until we get that point, man, it's like it we have to understand that it's a process. The Falcons are going to be a force to be reckoned with because they have an owner who not only has the money, but he wants to win. He not only owns the Atlanta Falcons, but people forget that he owns several soccer franchises. Obviously, Atlanta United, but this dude got money. He wants. It ain't even about money with him. Arthur got the bread. He still holds a stake in stock with Home Depot, Atlanta United, the Atlanta Falcons. He got like small soccer franchises overseas. This dude ain't hurting for no money. Everybody talking about, oh, he only doing it to saving money. He is money. Arthur Blank is money. He ain't worried about making no money. He can shit on the toilet and make money. That man ain't worried. Everybody like worried about. No, you worried about money. That man is not worried about money. That dude don't have to do nothing for the rest of his life. He can sit at home and tell everybody else to do stuff for him. He ain't got to worry about no money. He not worried about money at all. And right here, same with the Bulldog. It took 10 plus years. You know the years and years and years of losing. Mark Richt set the foundation, bringing in recruits, having a solid offensive line, solid defense. Kirby came in here, but it took him 2 years to set the foundation, his foundation of building the defense. That didn't happen overnight. Like people think, Kirby Smart just came in here and just rebuilt. No, he didn't. He finished what the Bulldogs were. The Bulldogs have always focused on running the ball, having a solid offensive line, having a solid running game. But when Kirby came in here, he not only continued that tradition with the offensive line and the running game, he built the defense. He brought in a bunch of defensive line and a bunch of linebackers, DBs, and he added that. So the Bulldogs became a more well-rounded team. But there was that foundation first. It took Kirby it took him a good 4 or 5 years to become a natty. Like it took him time to get to that point. Like I said, this is the reason why people is always think that like it happens overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. What you see is what you focus on. But when you look at everything in its entirety, it took him a good 4 years or so to build that championship. And now we're seeing the finished product. We're seeing the finished product of what happens when you do things the right way. The Bulldogs are going for a three-peat because they stuck with a process and they helped build the other side of the team. Was it the defense? Bulldog didn't have defenses like that. Yeah, they had great offenses. You had Matt Stafford and Green and all those guys. But it was a process. Same thing with Alabama. Same thing with Alabama. It was a process. So again, there's no such thing as a team or a team blowing up everything and then winning championships in the next year. It just doesn't happen in any sport. So, like I said, as far as AJ is concerned, I don't know. See, what I would do with AJ, I would just try to. He may not be happy with it, but I don't know how AJ Terrell would feel about this. But I'm gonna try to prolong that process as long as possible because you have one, you're gonna have Chris Lindstrom money come up in the next couple of years or so. And then we don't know what's going to happen with Grady Jarrett as far as his money and how healthy he's going to be coming into this season. So we got to figure that thing out. So that's another thing. But I would stretch it out. Obviously this year at the end of the year, the Falcons going to pick up his 5th-year option. Then they're going to have to start negotiating the contract. So what I would do is going to be a frustrating process for him, AJ. But what I would do, I was prolong. I would probably try to get him on a franchise tag, just a franchise tag him for 1 year, and then after that franchise tag, what I would do is negotiate a contract where it's under 20 million because I don't believe in this NFL, especially with the Falcons. I don't think you should pay a cornerback $20 million. I just don't think so personally. I know AJ is a terrific corner, but I'm not paying the corner, close to $20 million. If I can get him around 15, 16, I'll do it. But anything over 16, I'm not giving it to him. And if AJ wants more money, then we would just have to trade him for more draft assets and, you go accordingly. But I'm not paying a cornerback that much money. The Falcons have way too many needs up front, especially with the pass rush. And I think if you focus on building in the trenches, you can take some chances on some DBs in the second round and the lower first round and develop them into solid corners. I don't need to pay a cornerback, $20 million and plus. In this current NFL, I don't think you need shutdown corners because, you know, they get called for enough. It's just not a DB friendly league. So I'm not paying a cornerback $20 million. Would you bring Masters in as an offense coordinator in the season? I'm assuming you mean Terrence Masters. Um, I don't know. I do know at this point in time, I would bring Terrence. I don't think he wants to be an offensive coordinator as of yet, but I do know he wants to be in the NFL as a wide receivers coach. But I would definitely bring him in as a wide receivers coach. I want to see after this season Johnson be enemies fluid if Arthur Smith comes back. Strip him of no, there's no reason to strip him. This is a dumb statement by anybody, and not just you. Anybody that say Arthur Smith don't know how to call plays, they don't know what they're talking about. He's actually calling some pretty good plays and concepts. The thing is, we always say this time and time again. You can sit up here and call it. There's no such thing as a well-designed play call. The play calls are a direct result of execution. What I mean by that, if if a team is running the ball well, it makes your job so much better as a play caller because you can call certain things off of the running game. So if the running game isn't consistent, then chances are you're not going to have a good passing game. And if you're not passing the ball well, chances are you're not going to be able to run the ball. So this is the reason why execution is always above play calling. Play calling has everything to do with rhythm. Arthur Smith doesn't have a problem with rhythm. The thing is players aren't executed. We say this time and time again. I love Bijan Robinson and I love Tyler Algier, but those guys haven't been consistent. And this is one of the reasons why you look at, CP want the ball. We know what CP is. We know he can be that guy to open games up. But when you have your Tyler Algier, and like I said, Tyler Algier is a stud, but he hasn't been a consistent runner. He's missed holes. He's not hitting the holes as as quickly early in the game that we need him to be. And the same thing for Bijan. The run game hasn't gotten going early like that since him, Tyler Algier, and CP a couple of games ago, where they had to bench, where they essentially benched Bijan Robinson. So he has no problem with the play call. The thing is execution. When you got offensive linemen jumping off and getting holding penalties, and a lot of this stuff, you can't get into a play call and rhythm. If you look at right now, with the Denver Broncos, everybody thought that everybody thought for the most part that Sean Payton was overrated and blah 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 because early in the season Denver offense looked like shit. But once he figured out what those guys were good at, you're seeing what Russell Wilson and that offense could be now. Now those guys are on a roll offensively. This is why I say a lot of times the play calling is the direct, it has everything to do with execution. Now those guys in Denver are executing in the run game. Now they are executing in the pass game. Now they are protecting the quarterback. So they look better. So a lot of times we be thinking it's the play calling, but it's the execution that's the problem. And if you look at Eric Bieniemy's doing nothing. That dude, look, he gonna get that dude killed. Bro, they pass 50 times a game. Of course he gonna have 300 yards. When you pass 300 times a game, you getting sacked 40 times. This dude about to get on a pace for 80 sacks in the damn season. This dude on pace for getting sacked over 60 times in the damn season. He's not a good play caller. Denzel Ward got $100 million. So no, see, they're not waiting too late. Tyler Algier is a guy that needs more. He needs to be fed. He's not a guy that gets off quickly. So it's not that he's a bad running back or they not getting. It takes some time to get. He's a big dude. Sometimes them big dudes, you got to keep on. Look, you can't give them no appetizer. You got to give them a full course meal. You can't give them no fucking cheese crackers and shit like that. No, that motherfucker gonna want look. He want a sub. He gonna want some pizza. He gonna want all that. That's what Tyler Algier. And the Falcons trying to get him an appetizer. They trying to eat these crackers before you. Nah, that big dude. He want more. He want all that. That's what Tyler Algier. So you got to keep feeding that monster for him to get going to get the best out of him. He's just not one of those guys that can come right out of the gate and just start ripping it. So you got to keep feeding him. Feed him more. That's what Tyler Algier. It takes him time to get revved up. But once he's revved up, that's when you got to keep feeding him. But the Falcons got to find a pace, and I think this is where a lot of people think, especially in the red zone. Arthur Smith has always did those trick plays. With the thing is, it's just not working now. He's done those things in Tennessee. He's been very creative. He's doing nothing different than he's always done. He's always been creative. He's always ran fullback, running plays and stuff like that in the red zone. He did those things these past few years. He did it in Tennessee. The thing is, it's just not working. That's the thing. It's just not working. Simple as that. It's not working. So the Falcons, if they execute in the red zone a lot more, they win more games. If they don't execute, they lose. No, I'm not. No, no, no. I'm not. I'm gonna ride this train out with AJ, but I'm gonna try to prolong it as much as possible because the Falcons are going to spend more money in the trenches than they are in the secondary. And they don't need, like I said, I don't think the team needs to draft a cornerback because a lot of times the cornerbacks, you're not going to be able to pay these guys. All right. You're not going to be able to pay these guys. You're not going to be able to pay these guys $20 million for a cornerback. And like I said, in this team, especially in the NFL, I just don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it. So, like I said before, I know a lot. Everybody want the Falcons to hurry up and win, but I just don't think it's worth. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it. So, like I said, man, at the end of the day, man, I don't think the Atlanta Falcons are in need of the desperate to blow everything up. They just need to keep doing what they're doing and add more pieces to the puzzle. Not everything need to be blown up. And Arthur Blank does want to win. Again, you don't spend $1 billion, over $1 billion on a franchise that you don't want to go anywhere. That's just crazy. Okay. So, like I said before, y'all appreciate y'all for joining. OG Sam is gonna be coming on real soon. Um, he gonna be coming in real soon. So y'all stay tuned for that. Head over to the Mad Mike Network. Um, Catch OG Sam up soon. But like I said before, man, just relax. The Falcons will get to a point where these guys are going to win. All right. But it's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. And we don't need to fire everybody because we're not winning right now. So let me know what you guys think about that. Let's get this W against the Aints. And I'm out of here. Peace.